guess information security is now a board level issue that companies across the board, every industry, large, medium, small, everyone has to think about it. It is a priority for everyone. It's not something that you take for granted or that you leave to the side. If that's how you operate, it's just a matter of time before you get breached. So I'm Norremo. I'm the CEO and founder of Third Party Trust, a Chicago-based software solution with a sole focus aimed at solving the vendor risk management problem. Yeah, so yesterday we were discussing on the panel the topic of how do we rethink trust in the vendor ecosystem. Okay? Vendors is one of the hottest topics right now. Why? Because they pose a tremendous amount of risk to enterprises out there. Okay? We're seeing a couple of trends in this industry. First being a lot more vendors are coming on board and being used by enterprises. Those enterprises are sharing sensitive data with those vendors. Second is the number of breaches that are happening just keeps going up, and a lot of them are due to third parties that are the root cause of that breach. The third thing being regulation. So yesterday we discussed the New York Department of Finance. They just issued a regulation around cybersecurity, so first of its type, and a very specific component of that regulation was vendor risk management. Companies are using vendors for a couple of different reasons, right? One is efficiency. The vendor might enable, a much more efficient process, and that ultimately results in savings for the company. Other vendors, might enable new products or services that generate revenue. Okay. The fact of the matter is this: if you want to be an innovative company in this day and age, you have to bring on vendors, right? You can't be an expert at everything, so bring in best of breed. That's happening, right? So that risk just needs to be managed, right? We need to think about how can we live in this new normal where we are using a lot of vendors to operate more efficiently, but at the same time managing that risk and keeping your customers' data or your sensitive data safe. So the big story around Verizon, there was millions of customer data, the customer records breached. It was due to a vendor storing that data unencrypted, open to the public in an S3 bucket at Amazon. Okay. Another example would be Netflix, right? Think about Netflix, they're a technology company. They wanted to produce content, so they outsourced it to studios to do like Orange is the New Black, right? Hackers went after that. Why? Because there's a tremendous amount of money that can be had if you can extort that from Netflix, if you can release it early to the public. Okay, so most companies, what's the challenge here, right? The challenge is you're dealing with businesses outside the four walls of your own business, right? And you got to exchange. To understand their security posture, it involves a lot of back and forth and understanding, again, what are they doing, and encryption. What are they doing for personnel or HR policies, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Right now, most companies are trying to do this alone. Very inefficient, there's a lot of redundancies, and that's really where third-party trust can come in and really help. So we built our application as a way to solve this. We solve it for the enterprises. We give them a lot of automation to complete this quicker, more efficiently with more intelligence. We've solved it for the vendors. The vendors build their profiles inside our network, upload all their security attestations, they answer the questionnaires, we include the scans. The vendor can do it once, and then they can share that with one customer, but also a second, third, and fourth one. And again, vendors love it because it eliminates that redundancy that they're constantly under right now by answering one-off Excel spreadsheet questionnaires. Comparing to just 12 months ago, when I spoke about this problem, it seemed like it was, people knew there was an issue, but it wasn't a top priority. Today, I've had a lot of folks coming up to me and saying, hey, we need to figure this out, right? We need a solution to this. My board is coming and talking to me. My CEO hears about Equifax, and he's worried that what if there's a breach? Well, is his job at risk? So the key thing is, I think, is vendor risk management needs to be a priority to a lot of companies, and it looks like, again, due to a lot of different pressures, this is becoming a top top of mind issue, and a lot of companies are spending more time focusing on it. And hopefully, third-party trust can be part of that solution, and ultimately raise the level of security. And if we can stem the tide of all the breaches that are happening, that's our goal.
Thank you for watching ISACA Media. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. If you're interested in learning more about ISACA and the benefits of certification and membership, please visit isaca.org.